From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another podcast, another conversation with Trent and friends, featuring the lovely Coach Dee along with Shann. Good stuff, good stuff. We got to go in tonight. We're talking about crabs in a bucket. I was actually trolling these internet streets maybe last week or so, and I saw a fight between this football player, Cam Jordan, and a couple of guys or whatever. Got to thinking, I'm like, I wonder, do he know them? So apparently he's known them for several years and whatnot. So I got to thinking about crabs in a bucket and talking about success, right? Thinking about success. Keep in mind, some people do not know how to handle success. As far as if my friend is, successful, I might not be able to handle it. Bitterness kicks in, envy and all that stuff. So let's bring the girls in. Let's bring the ladies in. Let's see what they're talking about. One sec. Hey.
Hey there.
What's going on? Not much.
Hey, evening. Sorry, I was trying.
We're actually on Instagram. Let's see if we're going. Yeah, we go. Let's see. There we go. We should be good. And we're good on Instagram. Good stuff. Side to the 23,000 folks over there. Good stuff. All right, cool. All right, what's going on with you guys?
Not much. I'm fighting a cold.
Fighting the cold? Oh my God.
Oh no.
You're fighting the cold and I'm fighting this tendonitis. I got my flaxseed pad here, warmed up and ready to go.
Is that Kobe on the bed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, please don't call his name too loud because he can want to jump up all in the video and all that little craziness.
Hey, Martine, welcome back. Hi, Kathy.
He's having a meltdown. My sister just left, and that's one of his favorite people. So he's having a meltdown.
Brandy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So good stuff. So we're talking about so you said you're fighting the cold. Do you got anything you taking for that?
Local honey lemon tea. It's a sore throat, actually. It's not a cold itself.
Right. Shannon?
Yes.
How are you?
I am great, thank you.
I mean, the consistency by coming on is spectacular. I'm loving the consistency. Okay.
Really? Don't worry, you're going to be paying for it.
Knock it off, whatever. So crabs in a bucket. So Coach Dee, when I sent that over to you, what was your thoughts on that? You gave me a one-liner. It was like messy.
Yeah, here's the thing. With crabs in the bucket, I look at it differently than you do because that Cam Newton fight was not all that people make it out to be.
Right.
Because he wasn't actually fighting. He was separating people.
Right.
So here's the thing. With crabs in a bucket, it's always when somebody's getting ahead, people try to pull them back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in a lot of crafting for profit groups.
Right.
And there's a distinct difference in the black crafting for profit groups and the white crafting for profit groups.
Why is that? What's the difference?
Yeah. Within our groups, people gatekeep. Huge.
They used to gatekeep?
Yeah, like there's not enough money for everybody. In the white groups, I will get their complete recipe, where they got their vendors from and everything. And they will help you make what they're making.
And this is, I knew.
Why do you do that? She's like, there's plenty of money out there.
Once I went back and I wrote a blog maybe 14 years ago called Crabs in a Bucket on the Some Call Me Trent blog site, right? So I went back to searching, and after watching that fight, I didn't know the details on the fight. So it was my thought on, crabs in a bucket, success, and all this other stuff. So I went looking for that blog because I remembered it. As I'm reading it, I was like, Coach D is going to pick this apart. And this is exactly what I want you to do with that. Like, why? And I've had some of that, the crabs in a bucket and whatnot early on in life. I'll give you guys a couple examples, but why do we as African Americans feel like we have to once, before the success, hey, go ahead, Trent, go do your thing, man. Go to LA, not break a leg, do everything. But once I break that leg and jump in the stratosphere, now you got a problem with me. I'll give you guys a prime example. After all the books were written, all the tours were gone, and the book tours and the speaking engagements here and abroad, I decided to open up a bar and grill in my old neighborhood. So once I did it, opened it up, people started with the craziness. And I'm like, damn, y'all wasn't saying. That's when I told you I was bringing it back to New Orleans. I was bringing something for you guys to enjoy back to New Orleans. Y'all wasn't saying all this stuff, then. So even my brother, somebody I hired, different taste in the mouth, different taste. And I'm like, wow, where is all this coming from? I'm doing this for us. It's not for me. I'm already successful with the authors and the speaking engagement. I'm already successful with that. I'm doing this for us because Greg always wanted to have a catering business. And I was like, you know what? I'll start with the bar and grill. He was due to retire 6 months after. And he was like, I'm gonna pull some money together and we're gonna do the truck and you got the building. Let's just roll with it. So we had a plan in place. That was his dream, and that's what we were gonna follow through with it. The Four Horsemen Catering. But as the business started getting more successful, I'm not gonna call no names, but he had a little bit of taste in his mouth. And I hired him, along with my friends and all these other folks. So break that down for me, Dee. I really would like to know why people like that. I'll give you another example of a positive example of a person watching you grow from where you were to where you're going. Mark Marine, you guys know him as Slash. We started out in the music business. Some kids with aspirations. Our goal was to, reach success in the music business. But a lot of folks stayed local. I went national, international. And every single song I told Mark, I said, once I get the deal, I'm gonna always reach back for you because I want you to produce. I love this production. Every time I had a budget, I brought him in on a project. That brother has never had a distaste in his mouth for me, not saying, oh, you living out in, Beverly Hills and West LA and all this other stuff. None of that. I've never had that from him. Never had it from him. So I always reach back. I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, and she was like, well, Crabs and Buck, that's kind of negative. I said, no, it's not, because once you reach the rim, as far as my mentality, I reach back. I'll even reach back to pull you up, but don't pull me back in with you. I'll wash you off, dust you off, but you're responsible for putting your clothes on. But I'm going to reach back. Go ahead.
Our communities used to thrive because we helped each other out. That's why we had Black Wall Street. That's why we had the Renaissance in Harlem. When our communities were destroyed and the people were separated, we lost that skill. So we're like 1 to 2 generations relearning networking, relearning helping each other out. But right now we're still stuck in survival mode and scarcity thinking. That there's not enough for everybody. Right. So, and we have some great people who give back. Like, look at LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal. They're constantly giving back. They don't talk about it.
Exactly. I get that.
Too often people will be quick to, because of issues with themselves and insecurities and lack of worth, they'll be ready to pull somebody down. Right?
Exactly.
If you don't feel worthy of what other people have, then you're going to want them to not have it either.
Right.
And here's the thing: churches play into this a lot. They tell you have these prosperity preachers that tell people that they're rich because they're blessed. So you're not doing something right, and that's why you're not blessed.
Nah.
Right? Like, there is plenty of money out there for everybody.
There is.
If you can solve a problem, you're rich.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a couple of friends, actually over in Africa, India, and I got a Japanese friend as well. And he was telling me that it's considered dishonorable if you make it to a certain level in life and you're not reaching back. You're not helping your family member. You're not bringing them along.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll give you an example. There's a nail salon that's in the up by the grocery store strip mall near me. So what happens is one family, they start the nail salon. One family works, they're working every day. They get enough money, they build another one. Another part of the family comes in and works at nail salon. So eventually that whole family has rotated through the nail salon. Right?
Exactly.
I grew up, my stepdad was Greek, and we knew all the other Greek business owners, and all the kids worked in the stores. But we don't.
And that's exactly what I wanted to do with the Four Horsemen Catering, right? Once I opened up the shop, because it was Greg's dream to do that. It's like, hey, because Greg was always had a mindset like that. We're gonna pull everybody up. They don't have to do nothing. We're gonna pull everybody up. So once I had the opportunity to open up the business, I was like, Greg, this is our chance right here. Here's your lane. Let's go get it. Yep. Let's go get it.
We got some comments too before we move too far. So welcome.
I apologize, guys. I was on my soapbox. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But Mark joined us. So thanks for joining us, Mark. Martine said, even with small businesses, there are those who'll never speak about your product, website, nothing. They won't even purchase anything from you. She says some family you'll have to leave them behind. And Mark said, real one, stay down. He said, stay down and real. It's that slave master mentality by an unchosen few. The focus needs to be on the focus.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Again, like I said.
Some family, even whether they family or not, sometimes you are going to have to leave them behind.
Yeah.
I told you guys lots of times, normalize leaving toxic people out of your life.
Yes. Whether they're blood related or
That's
not.
Don't matter who they are. Because
one more time for the people in the back, D. One more time for the people in the back.
Leave toxic people out of your life because they will bring you down and not lift you up. Like I have bought books and stuff from people and not told them I bought it until they've gotten the order. And then they'll call me up and like, why didn't you tell me you're going to order it? I would give you a deal. I'm like, no, man.
And here's the thing. The envy was so heavy when I opened the bar. It was so heavy. So it blinded them that I was doing this for us. I would talk about it. I had a vision all those years, along with Greg. Anybody who know me know that Greg was my guy. He was my brother, but he was my best friend. He was the only one I trusted.
The envy from your brothers, or envy
not from Greg? Not from Greg.
But you're saying you're okay. But I'm just saying it's from
the other dude. And they know, like Light and I doing stuff, with the trucks right now. So I mean, he know what's up. So they know what they did. They know exactly what they did.
Here's the two things. People will get upset over. There are two subjects people will get upset over every time: family and financial.
Exactly. Here's the thing with I'll tell you what was Torrance's problem. He always wanted to be the boss. So that was his problem. He wanted to be the boss. And we used to do a restaurant years before that, but I did this one by myself. So he always wanted to be the boss. Yeah. So, I just gave him a pass, but the other one,
gotcha.
So Martine hired him. Go ahead.
Martine said, since you ended on that, Martine said, I've not heard really good stories about having hired your friends, also hiring your mate as your manager, etc. Mark said nail salons in some communities because they were afforded a small business loan. He says, do you know sisters taught the Vietnamese the trade and then got phased out, just like selling hair care products?
Real talk.
So they don't get business loans from banks. They get business loans from each other. So what happens is everybody will put into a pot for X amount of money for X amount of meat. Then they'll buy a business. Then those people will start that business, and the next group will put in X amount of dollars for X amount of weeks and buy a business.
That's an actual fact. I had a neighbor. He was Japanese. He was they lived over there since we were young. We come up together. That's exactly what he said. Yep. That's exactly what he said. They pool their money together in the same house. I mean, I'm talking about like 10, 15 of them was in that house. Yeah. But they had money.
I grew up in the entrepreneurial Greek community. I know how it goes down and how people get businesses and how people. I've seen some shady stuff where people have lost businesses of poker games on New Year's Eve too. So
they do love to gamble.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna call their culture out, but they do love to gamble.
But here's the thing: we used to do that, but we don't do it anymore.
Right.
Like we don't self-fund within our own communities. Like how many
Right.
people have bank accounts at black banks?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say, man, from day one, I hate using this term because it's crazy, but from day one, Mark has never in the 40 years I've known this guy, have had an envious bone in his body for me. Never.
We
And
know,
sometimes,
we can definitely see the loyalty there, sir. We
knock
do.
it off, stop. So sometimes I would have to actually tell him, hey man, this is a budget, so you gotta take the money. Sometimes he wouldn't want to take the money. What do you mean? You just did a production. The money, hey, inmates got the building, let's get it. But he's a stand-up guy, man. That's why I love him so much. He never changed up on me. Never
So
changed up on me. Even when I had the money, he never changed up. When I became shit ass broke, he was still the same guy.
gotcha. All right. So Martine said a few of the sistren that she thought were cool and friends with began to act stank towards me when I moved or relocated and stopped speaking at all. Mark said he's referring, as far as the business loans, he says he's referring to the initial seed money to do the startup. And then he said, "Ayo, Mr. Ackman, which restaurant are you speaking on? Because you've had a few, but not that many." Again, your personal cheerleading section.
I'm talking about the shop. I'm talking about the shop on this one.
Yeah,
That's the one about the shop.
Mark's not listening to how I said how they get the seed money. He wasn't paying attention. The community sources the seed money amongst themselves. Right? Like here's a good example. We have you guys heard of Keith Lee? He goes around for the food, right?
The food influence.
So there's one he went to. I don't want to make. I think it was Atlanta. I'm not sure. Anyway, so he gave this woman who owned the truck some money, and she was supposed to spread the money with the folks that were there. She ended up raising the prices and didn't give them money and all kinds of nonsense. And the Keith Lee effect is real because there's another lady who's on TikTok who she does cookies or like baking stuff and everything. And
edibles?
She had not edibles, like I was thinking edible food. She had lines out the door. And she was out thanking everybody and all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? We don't promote each other the way we should.
At all. At
No,
all.
we don't. You're right.
Like it takes nothing to put a post on Facebook or Instagram about somebody's business.
And while I'm giving out the flowers here, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention you guys, you two. When y'all knew everything that was going on with me, you never said it was a crazy idea to do the podcast and you're partially paralyzed. And you guys just roll with me. You just roll with me. Shannon cussed me out a couple of times, left, come back. I think this is a third stint. So
First of all,
I'm
sir.
teasing, knock it off.
Don't start tonight.
Stop it. So, you guys never said, hey, Trent, that's never going to work. How you going to sit there for an hour and, all this pain and whatnot? You guys roll with the punches, man. You guys roll with the punches.
I mean,
that's a sign of, hey, let's see where this goes. And now, Apple Podcasts.
I know I'm an awesome public speaker, so,
What you say?
She's an awesome public speaker, sir.
That she is. And she keeps me in check. So, yeah. She reminds me that. She constantly reminds me that I didn't renew these coaching license, but she's doing such a great job. I don't have to.
Yeah, we don't need you to coach us. We're good with Coach Dee. Thank you.
So I can leave it expire, right?
You can leave it expired, sir. Yes.
Yeah,
but Martine said we've been trained and tricked to fight and compete.
Yeah, I heard the shade.
Yeah. It is, and it all, like, think about it. It goes back to slavery and Jim Crow. There was a point where they made laws that Black women, when Black men were off to war and they were bringing money in, made laws that when Black women were turning down work, they made it so that Black women were forced to do domestic work because white women couldn't find work anymore.
Right.
This is why even now, if you're a Black stay-at-home mom, you're looked down upon, whereas it's celebrated if you're a white stay-at-home mom.
I see a Fat Cat Entertainment over that Cup's couch. I'll be on that end.
Who is that?
I'll be on that end after April. Good stuff.
Okay. And would you get Martina's last comment? She says she enjoys supporting people that she knows. Sometimes they become a bit uppity when they begin making a few dollars and become undesirable. I won't continue supporting those types.
Yeah. Again, with my favorite Detroiter.
Word uppity, because that's some white nonsense.
Again, with my favorite Detroiter. My favorite Detroiter, I don't even remember how long this woman's been supporting me.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's been that long for her. I don't remember. Like she shared something
so
on
wait,
Facebook.
Look, so
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say you've really been on your soapbox for a long time. Like we can't get through the comments and stuff.
So. I just want to recognize it.
I would like to get supporting. Okay. Yes, she has. Thank you so much, Martine. We really appreciate all the support you have given Trent over the years, ma'am. Thank you very much. But I do want Coach Dee to elaborate though on the whole the uppity and the nonsense that little comment she made though.
Please don't start it because she's gonna get us blocked. We just got access to these people, man.
I'm not gonna get you blocked. I'm just saying that we need to remove. Okay, how about we need to remove some verbiage from our vernacular that has been brought down by white supremacy and the patriarchy. And uppity is a word that is used to keep us in our place. So we need to stop using it. There we go. Is that politically correct enough for you?
Yeah, you know what? He has his nerve to want to talk about what can and cannot be said. How many times we had to be on here and no, sir, you're not gonna do that tonight. Hey, Marcus, welcome back.
When do we stop blaming slavery and grow up as a people? If we know that slavery was a detriment, then when do we do better? Well, when society and the systems that were created by slavery have changed.
Right.
Black children, if they go to the hospital, will receive less pain medication than white children.
Exactly.
Right? Our maternal death rates are astronomically higher. The school to prison pipeline. This stuff is all in reality. I'm not talking about stuff. And slavery is only 3 generations behind.
Right.
The last child of a slave died 40 years ago.
Wow.
His father had him when he was older, but he just recently died. Like this stuff, we had slavery, then we had Jim Crow laws.
Right.
Then we have
so as I went back and I searched that the blog I wrote out like 14 years ago, crabs in a bucket.
Right.
I thought about that. I thought about the mentality that we have as African Americans. Like, why do we feel like we have to pull the one that said he's got to the rim? We got to pull him back down with us.
Because when you're stuck in survival trauma, that's all you know how to do.
Boom.
Right?
Boom.
So if you're stuck in survival, if you don't know when your lights are gonna be on, if you don't know when your next meal is, there are kids in Xavier School that get fed only at school. Right? These kids are coming to school hungry. If you don't know what it is to have something left at the end of the month, you can see somebody else and go, well, why does he have stuff left at the end of the month? We come from the same place. Yeah. And there's a lot of animosity and anger, and we could help each other move out of that place.
If people realize that if you focus on your lane, if you focus on your lane, not to the right, not to the left, because if I focus on Shannon over here and Dee over there and veering to the right and left, I'm knocking myself off of my square. If you focus on yourself and get down to the get down, there won't be any room for no bitterness.
Yeah. All right, so let me address Marcus, because I think Marcus is going. He says, my great-grandfather was a slave, but I don't have that mentality. We have to grow together. Okay, so let's talk about that mentality, because unconscious bias is real, right? I don't care what anybody says. Being Black in America is trauma on a regular basis. We can pretend that everything's hunky-dory, but even now, I'm on the phone when I am talking to, I have to make sure that I use D and not Dion for resumes, right? White people don't do that. There's stuff that we have to do every day that is unconscious, that is due to the way the system is set up, right? Exactly. This is real. We can pretend it doesn't happen and go, oh yeah, I'm happy, nothing's going on. We're past that. We're not past it. The system's still doing it.
I was just telling a buddy of mine that we live in this delusional bubble here in the States. Hey, Sandra Williams, that's my cousin on Instagram. I see you.
Mississippi right now is trying to pass a law to close the state universities. You know what those state universities are? Jackson State, Alcorn State, the HBCUs is what they want to close.
Exactly.
And they don't. Why do they get rid of affirmative action? They do not want us educated because Black women are once the most educated population, right? The system is set up for us to fail. The only thing is, when we bind together, we work together, we don't fail. We succeed astronomically.
Right. But again, once we realize that, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But if a brother or sister has reached that realm, they're gonna pull back.
Many
It's in our
do, they just
nature.
don't talk about it.
It's in our nature. Exactly. It's in our nature to pull back.
Yeah.
Again, like I said when I opened it up, once I reach the rim, I'm gonna reach back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna bring you with me. I'm gonna wash you off and even dust you off.
Yeah,
It's your responsibility to put your clothes on.
Right. That's you. There's many that do, but there's also many that don't.
Yeah. And then there's ones that will get up and then will purposely try to do things that ruin the Black community, like Justice, what's his name?
And just like you brought up the gatekeeper, we become gatekeepers and I don't want them to take this from me. How can you take something I created?
Yeah.
How can you take something that I mastered? That's no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you're scared they're going to take it and do something more with it.
Exactly.
Meaning that you're not doing anything with it, right?
I can give you the blueprint.
Like, we are creative geniuses. Like,
absolutely.
Like artistic genius. And there's so many people that look at some people and they're like, well, nobody's going to wear that. I'm like, girl, that's cute. And then you'll see their outfits on TV shows.
Right.
We need to support each other. Even if it's not your thing, still support people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of comments. I don't want Martine to get on us tonight. She says, I enjoy seeing my people happy and doing well. And she says, I am one who will share helpful, surefire info. And she said she also said it's been said that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
I live by that.
Listen, networking, you never know who somebody knows.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's real
right?
talk.
And networking is huge. It's huge in other communities. We need to do more of it. Right?
That's true.
And help each other out. Because there are some great kids in Title I schools who are brilliant.
Right.
And may not get the chance because they're told, because we have generational trauma in our parenting.
Exactly.
And they're told they're never going to be worth anything. They're never going to amount to anything. And we need to work on that.
Let's get down to the meat and potatoes. And in your professional opinion, how do we break that cycle of being envious of our friends, family members who've moved forward and moved to a different realm in life? And sometimes it's not even about, everybody definition of, they define success in a different way. These days, my success is getting better and elevating myself.
Yeah.
Becoming a higher level of myself, coming to that level, that different realm in life. That's my success. These days, I've reached all these other success. Everything I wanted to do, I did. Now I'm better in myself.
Right.
And I do that daily. So everybody has their different definition of success, but how do we get past the whole envy thing and being envy because Trenton found himself? Don't envy me because I've reached a higher level of myself. I'm not saying I'm better than you, but come get some of this.
It's about people need to work on their self-worth, their self-confidence, and their insecurities. So if you don't feel that you're worthy of something, you may not see the guy that you went to school with as being worthy of it either. Right? If you both grew up in the same neighborhood, went through the same things, you can look at them like, well, I don't deserve that. Why do you deserve it?
Mm.
Right?
I see you out, Sam.
And sometimes we just have to realize that what we're going to get, we may not receive it at the same time, but if we work hard, we will receive it. And we work hard together. Don't push somebody out on the limb on their own and say, you got to do this by yourself. Help them out.
Exactly.
So, Mark, we've got a couple of comments. So, Mark said, crabs in a barrel, referring to the metaphor that we have all heard at least once in our life. The analogy refers to a way of thinking we're all in the barrel. If I can't have it, neither can you.
Yeah.
Martine was going back to when we were speaking about networking. She says, networking, however, in a world where so many are scamming, how do you trust people? And she also said there is enough room on this planet for us all to shine, to do well, to share our creativity.
Martine, this is where great discernment come in. Because I've had a couple of business partners where things went completely left, but I won't call names on that either. But I've had multiple businesses, but I didn't have great discernment in some of those decisions I made by bringing people on. So you have great discernment, man, and vet the people like you're vetting to date them, because we're talking about money at this point.
Yeah.
So you vet the people, and then you make that decision. Make a sound decision.
Yeah. And you say just don't jump in the barrel. Because
exactly.
Here's the thing: society wants us to fight amongst ourselves, so that the people who have 9/10 of the pie don't have to worry about us. We're all fighting over one piece of pie. Somebody else has got 9 pieces of the pie.
Exactly.
And they don't care about us. And too often we get so caught up in the being told, well, they're the reason you're in the situation you're at. No, they're not. They're in the same situation because the people at the top don't give a shit. Right?
That's it. I think, in my opinion, we get past that when we're secure within ourselves. Because I want to see everybody win.
Right.
It doesn't have to be in my category. Even if it is in my category, that's fine with me, because I'm very comfortable within myself. Within myself, I am comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And so too often society likes to make others out of people.
Exactly.
And if you look at don't look at the American news, because it will teach you nothing but fear. Nothing but fear. Everybody talks about the southern border. I'm like, y'all, the northern border is the most unprotected border in the world.
Exactly.
Y'all talk about the southern border. I'm from the country up top where I could literally come to the U.S. for 6 months without a visa and stay, and nobody's going to say a darn thing because I'm Canadian.
Absolutely. And you know why?
You know why, right? How to come in here, Dee?
Canadians, listen, there are tens of thousands of Canadians who cross.
But you know why, though? Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck real quick. The reason why the southern border is so important to those folks.
They're brown people.
They're brown folks.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
So hold on. So Martine says she says, I'm not in any barrels. I want to see my brethren and sister living and doing well. Exactly. And Slash came back and said the reality is we should all be focusing on the barrel itself. That's to say that the barrel is premeditated, environment intentionally designed by systems to enclose the crabs. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the barrel is the cog in the wheel to keep us all down.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's just like, I'll touch on this a little bit because you guys know I don't do that whole smut TV and all that stuff, but it was so big over the last few weeks with Cat Williams, right? That was real what he was talking about. Gatekeepers, it was real. Mm-hmm. I was in that community. That was real. But here's the thing. This is why I would actually challenge what Cat said on that. The gatekeepers aren't the people who are writing the checks. It's us.
Yeah.
It's us, people that look like me. That's the gatekeepers.
Mm-hmm.
I have one in particular situation where I started a production company with Tisha's dad, David Williams, and we put an album together, and I got a deal with Warner Brothers. And they signed on it, they gave me a letter of intent. It was a $4 million deal. Something happened in a personal situation with my business partner, and she killed the deal because the deal came through her from Warner Brothers. And so I called her up. I was like, hey, Tisha, why would you do that? I had nothing to do with what was going on. But she killed the deal.
Yeah, wow.
Killed the deal. She was a gatekeeper. Killed the deal. So it had nothing to do with the guy who wrote the intent.
Yeah.
Because of her celebrity, she was able to kill the deal.
Wow.
You know what? It happens all too often.
Yeah. I mean, I put a ton of money into this project. I remember that project, man. The Heist with Joe Lewis and all these cats. And Warner Brothers had a letter of intent for $4 million on a production deal. Mm-hmm. Things went south. She killed the deal. So it's us that's the gatekeepers. It's not the people writing the checks. We'll keep it a buck.
Yeah.
It's not the people writing the checks. It's us. We're the gatekeepers.
Mm-hmm. I've said this lots of times, we're our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So society has taught us really well and ingrained in us not
Exactly.
to allow us to succeed. So when we push back against that, we do really well. Like
And here's the thing.
Tulsa and Harlem.
Here's the thing with that Warner Brothers deal, right? She was getting a good piece of the change as a finder's fee. So I had agreed to a finder's fee on $4 million. She was gonna get a piece of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the emotions, she got the emotions got the best of her.
Yeah.
Killed the deal. So again,
Mark commented on that. He said because she allegedly could get out of the Martin deal to get her deal on and popping.
we're gonna leave that alone.
Because he said because she allegedly couldn't get out of the Martin deal to get her deal on and popping.
Yeah, we're gonna
leave that alone. You know, don't
be hitting me up, cursing me out in a minute.
Yeah, we're allegedly. Thank you for saying allegedly, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Always coming through.
Right. Hey, Kobe. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was distracted by the dog. Like, dog. Anyway.
Yeah. So, you know what? It's the more we work together, the better we all do.
Right.
The better we all do. And like, I'm in a lot of groups. Too many. I have to delete some of them. But some of the conversations are ridiculous. Like charging people $100 for a vendors list, where you can go to another group and get it for free. Right? Like, don't make, like, you want to help people out? I'm all for charging like a fee for a business or something like, but $160 for a list, come on.
Right.
That's just nickel and diamond, folks. It's just ridiculous.
That's true.
Because why get jealous over people doing what you're doing? They're not you. People, you are you, and you will do things differently, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, look at sorry, I'm distracted. Hey, Kobe.
He's showing off.
I know.
He's not really that cute. It's a face a mother would love. Sorry, Kobe. He gave you a dirty look. He heard me.
He did. Like, stop talking about his future baby daddy.
You got a couple of comments. Let's see.
They were talking. Just Kobe.
Yeah, they're talking to themselves. Hi, doggy. Yeah. What up, Kobe beans? Yeah. You know what? I would love to, there's some Black networking groups that I'm in that are amazing. Like, people will help each other out. Like, if they will ask questions and stuff like that. And there's other groups that's like, check the search engine. I'm like, man,
I get yep.
You don't got 2 minutes just to point them in the right direction. And you know what? There's so much time wasted by that. Like, somebody else has an idea. Help them with their idea.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about
could happen, you can collaborate.
The funny thing about us, right? When because I never wanted to be a part of the local crowd. Never wanted to do that. So Slash knew that I was meeting with Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and all these folks. He knew. Never said nothing, but he knew. But they would always. But my goal was to go get it and come back.
Mm-hmm.
Go get it and come back. Because at that time, New Orleans there was no Cash Money, no Master P. We were way before those folks, way before those people. But my goal was I wanted to come back. So every time I came back, I gave Slash a check. When I got a check, Slash got it. It may come do a remix. See what you can come up with. That was always my goal. Go back and get it. But a lot of people, they don't think like that. They don't think like that. Well, let me go and get my homeboy and give him some work. Like I'm not handing Slash the money. He did a job and he got compensated for it.
Right.
He said, speaking of Slash, he said, "There's always pride before the fall. The crabs pull from the 7 deadly sins, greed."
That's true.
I don't know. The greedy ones are the ones who have $120-30 trillion. not the guy down the street. Let's be real about where the greed really lies.
That's real talk. But I think for us, for the guy who lives down the street, as far as the greed, that comes into play when they see something and in their mind is unreachable. They can't fathom that. So that's where the greed comes in with them. They want it so bad because they're looking at the prize, not looking at the steps to work toward it.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? So that's where the greed comes in. They're looking at the prize, but you got to work for that prize.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Not
why
all.
we
You
need.
got to follow the steps.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we need more mentorships, so that because not everybody knows the steps. Some
That's
people
true.
we got the people who know the steps need to lead the way,
Right.
right? So you can't go.
Exactly.
Well, you need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, which is a term that comes from slavery because it made fun of slaves because they had boots,
Exactly.
and help people go, hey, listen, you have this idea. This is how you get this idea out to the people.
Exactly. I'll
Right?
give you guys another example as far as with this disability. Again, like everyone defines success differently. Like with the disability, right? I know that everyone don't think like I think, especially if they have a different ability. They don't think like I think. So I've created a blueprint to get up out that wheelchair, to come up out that bed if you're bedridden,
Mhm.
or if your speech is a little off. I've created a blueprint. The book is called The Recovery,
Mhm.
and I'm giving it away to them. I'm selling it to everybody else. But for my people with different abilities, they get it for free. I'm
Mhm.
giving it to them because I know that everybody's not going to have the same mindset. But if I could give them the blueprint
Right.
on living independently
Mm-hmm.
with a different ability, that's success for me.
Right.
Yeah. Like I get a lot of pushback when I talk to parents and I teach them about conscious parenting to break
Right.
generational trauma, and they're like, "Well, they need a whooping." I'm like, "No, why are you teaching that love is violent? What does that teach them?"
Right.
I'm like, if you make a mistake, how about this? I'll follow you to work tomorrow. You make a mistake, I'm going to slap you upside the head. Well, Dee, that's
Mhm.
assault. I'm like, how is it assault on you? It's not assault on the child.
Right.
That's true.
Violence is violence, no matter how you do it. You can call it discipline. You can say you do it because you love them, but no, it's been
Accurate.
proven to be ineffective. It's proven to change that child's brain and their reactions to it. Right?
Right.
If
Right.
you don't
Right.
believe it works, you can come visit my child and you see how they behave.
Let's catch Marcus real quick. Appreciate you, Marcus.
He said my father's side is from the great grandfather slave side and wouldn't help anyone else no matter what. My mom's side, the black preachers and teachers in the South, and pulled people along. It's a mindset.
That's
Yeah,
right.
well, remember, in slavery, if you were helping out, you were helping the master. You weren't helping each other.
Right.
There's a bit of a difference. All the profits went to the head guy.
Right.
And
But I see where Marcus is going with that with the southern folks.
oh yeah,
Most southern people
Mm.
is like what he's speaking of. Most
and
of them.
a lot
They still have
of
some
families
crabs
are
in the
still stuck
barrel.
in it. A lot of families are
Yeah.
still stuck in it. Right?
Yeah.
And
True.
we need to start helping each other out more. Like there's
Exactly.
look at Michael the librarian, right? He actually had to go off because people were harassing a librarian, like a
Wow.
library guy. And I'm like, this guy is just nothing but pure joy. And too often, our own community does not support it.
It's
They're like,
true.
oh, maybe he's gay. I'm like, who cares?
Oh
Who
yeah, I
cares?
think I saw he was on like Good Day, featured him on like Good
Yeah,
Morning America a couple of weeks ago or
yeah.
something.
He's working with PBS now,
Oh, okay.
and we are so
The
quick to
teardown
try to
just
tear
kills
people
me, man.
down. It's ridiculous.
The teardown just irks the shit out of me.
Hmm.
It really does. Even like I give another example. The guy the actor who was at the Trader Joe's, working at Trader Joe's.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. Used to be on the Cosby Show. What's I
I
can't
think
think.
isn't his name Joffrey or something like that?
Jeffrey something. It's
Jeffrey
yeah,
or
Jeffrey
something
something.
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
So
remember.
this guy was, they shamed this guy. Okay, wow, he was such a great actor. Now he's. Why do we do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey man, and if anybody want to be real about it, those checks come different for actors, entertainers. Those royalty checks, it come different. I
Yeah.
still get royalty checks to this day.
And some of them ain't
Matter of fact,
all that
Mike
for
got a
some
royalty
people.
check 3 weeks ago from something from the past. But those checks are far in between, man.
And not all those people are making the money people think they're making either,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
That's like who was I was gonna say? I'm trying to remember who else. I'll just give another example. But there's so much going on that people get caught up in counting what's in other people's pockets
Right.
Mm.
and not realizing that it may not look like you think it looks.
That's right.
Right. And sometimes
And
we just focus on what we can do.
It really bothered me that we're the first ones, African Americans are first ones to laugh at a downfall. To laugh at a downfall. Because I guarantee you, some of the people that knew me, because I was an asshole sometimes. So I know they kind of laughed at, but they know if they knew me, they know I was coming out of this shit.
They laugh because
I
we're not
wasn't
allowed
going
to
to wallow
cry.
in it. What'd you say, D?
They laugh because we're not allowed to cry.
What does that look like?
So here's the thing. There's this whole thing where we are strong, we have to be strong no matter what. And we do ourselves a great disservice because there is strength in emotions and being able to express emotions and being able to work through emotions. When the only emotion that you're seeing is anger, you're not allowing full expression of emotion. So we hide a lot of emotion with laughter. There's a lot of pain in our laughter.
That's factual. That's facts.
Right? There's a lot of pain there. And people were like, well, why do we jump around so much when you laugh? I'm like, because we weren't allowed to laugh prior to. So the jumping around is we would have to move out of the way. So it's still in our culture to move around when we're laughing. And people think, oh, that's just over the top. I'm like, yeah, when you know the history behind it, it's a whole different thing.
So I know where Coach Dee's going with this. I've been knowing Coach Dee for well over 20 years. I know where she's going, so we'll stop right there. So we're going to gumbo talk on what she got going on and what Shann got going on and all that good stuff. Let's gumbo talk for the last few minutes here because I know where Coach Dee going. I know where she's going.
Now, let me just get these last couple of comments in. Martine says she doesn't mind helping people. She's not sure if she's ever felt jealousy, not even envy. She said, if so, the levels were low. And Mark said, hurt people, plain and simple. Laughing at others' pain. It's exactly why I say social media ain't real. Yet we're supposed to be America's moral compass.
Listen, don't believe anything you see on social media.
Right.
Those pictures are all. That's why they want TikTok gone, because TikTok shows.
TikTok is real. I love TikTok.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know what your algorithm looks like, but my algorithm has a lot of positive conversations.
I love TikTok. Yeah, I love it because it's very informative, man. Very informative if you're listening.
Okay.
If you're paying attention, it's very informative.
Listen, I tell you,
you shop over there too, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell a lot of person by their TikTok algorithm because it doesn't lie. So if you want to know who somebody is, ask to look at TikTok.
TikTok is the bomb. That's the only place I could get a $5 mic for the daily quotes. $5 mic.
Oh my God.
$5 mic. Not this one, but the one for the daily quotes that I do every morning. All I gotta do is attach it to my phone and go $5, folks.
Oh, Martine says it's all an illusion, but she does see cool stuff on her social media accounts.
Yeah. You'll see everybody. Oh, everybody's so happy, go lucky. I'm like, you know what? I know what those pictures look like because I know what it looked like when I was married, and all the pictures look happy go lucky, and they're not true.
Right.
Right. There's so much going on behind the scenes that one picture doesn't capture everything that's going on.
One second, folks. Let's say hi to the folks over in India. I see a couple of them in there. How you guys doing?
Hey, welcome.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in. That's over on Instagram side.
Nice. That's a ways away. What time is it in India? It's early in the morning in India right now.
Hey, I don't know.
8 hours? 8 or 10 hours?
It's about 8 hours.
It's like 8 in the morning. Get to work.
Also,
we're the morning crew over there.
Yeah, actually, Australia came and I saw Australia on the back end on the Apple. Australia, the Netherlands. There's a couple more. There's a couple more that's coming in. They filing in, man. They coming through. They coming in. Yeah. So we really appreciate it, guys. We really appreciate that. We see you guys coming in. Just hit that subscribe button and we'll be good. 3 months, 3 days free, $1.99 each month after. 3 days free. So you're able to get all the gumbo talk you want. And then $1.99 after that. So good stuff. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just reading through the comments. Marcus says, my social media is sports and inappropriate jokes and Black history. Martine says, I see cool stuff on my social media accounts. I enjoy seeing people dance and the cats and dogs. People sing and play instruments. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about animals that just attracts us so much. Like, you know,
I know.
mine is on Instagram. It's full of dogs, like Yorkies.
It's a serotonin. They release like happy chemicals.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, is that what it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I watched Mr. Kidders. He's a cat. He's got a cat.
Yeah.
He goes on his little adventures. I watch him all the time. Like, where's Mr. Kidders going today?
You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny about that? Every time they see Kobe in a video, every time they see him in a video, the views jump up to like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
Yeah, because people wish we were as good as dogs think we are.
Right?
Dogs and cats are amazing. We don't get any rubber because cats.
Hold on, hey, India's talking to you. India's talking to you. They say I'm later. I'm later. Can look at in the bucket more and more. Okay, I can't decipher through it, but I see your comment there.
All right.
It's India comment on the Instagram side. Can you see it, D?
I don't have Instagram up. You know what I'm like. But yeah, it's what I mean.
I got your point, brother. I got your point.
Pets are amazing. Like there's this farm that I watch, Knucklebuck Farm, and they have this emu, Emmanuel.
Okay, I see exactly what he's saying. 1 second, D. I don't mean to step on you real quick. He said he's going to go back and watch it, so he's going to watch it later. Good stuff. Really appreciate it, brother.
1 second, I'll pull up, see if I can. Oh, I meant you can look at crabs in a bucket more than one way in a positive aspect also.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Do tell.
Listen.
Appreciate you for tuning in.
But you know what? People, especially nowadays, when there's so much horrific stuff going on, that people are those cats and those dogs and those emus and all those animals out there are just helping people survive.
Right.
Like people don't realize that cats purr at a healing frequency.
Right,
they will. If a cat is laying on you and it's purring, it will lower your blood pressure.
Hey, didn't you have a couple of cats or one cat? Which I think you had a cat, right?
I've always had a cat up until now, but we are, and don't get upset because we are buying a Maine Coon. I have rescued numerous cats. I've had cats from trash cans, cats from the streets, but we're gonna get a Maine Coon.
Wait.
What's a Maine Coon?
It's a coon. Beautiful, huge cat. No, it's called a coon because they have stripes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a big ass cat.
I'm trying to talk to D. Stop.
Yeah.
It's still that D.
What? It's a Maine Coon.
It's called a coon because it's got stripes, you said?
It's got stripes on its tail and resemble a raccoon.
Oh.
It's one of those big ones. They're real big.
It's a big cat. It's a long-haired domestic originated in America. They think it's crossbred with like a Norwegian forest cat or something. But they're absolutely beautiful.
Hey, what happened to your cat? I know your cat probably at this point that went on to glory.
Which one? I've had many. My last cat went to my ex-husband, Smokey.
No, not that one. I'm talking about the one over in Toronto.
Oh, they died. They were old.
Yeah, no, that's it. He probably went on to glory.
They just went on to glory. They only live so long, and
What are you laughing at, Shann?
Across the Rainbow Bridge.
Like, how long do you think that this cat was supposed to live? Like, how long ago would that have been, sir?
He's gonna live as long as Kobe. Kobe's gonna be 75.
Yeah, all my cats I've always rescued were always run to the litter, so we've managed to keep them until they were like 10 or 12. But they've always had issues like growing.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a rescue and sending this brat back where somebody brought him from because he's privileged and he's just spoiled. Yeah. Go ahead, D.
Oh, I thought somebody. Kept talking.
We're 5 minutes. We're 5 minutes to closing. So what you got?
What is my lesson of the day?
Yeah. What's your
what you got, sir?
What's your takeaway for today? Takeaway for me is when a person reaches the top, when they get to that realm, that different realm, they're on another realm in life, don't speculate or assume that they won't reach back and assist or help you and pull you up out of the barrel. Don't assume that they won't. Because once you're in your head saying, oh, Trent's not going to come and get me, he's not going to come get me, that's where the envy starts. That's where the bitterness takes in and takes control of your life. You're constantly looking at my progression and you're falling back. Every time you watch me, you're falling behind. So try to focus on your lane. Once you create your lane, master your lane, it's all sailing from there. But don't look at me because I'm elevated. You don't know what steps I took to get there. You have no idea the steps I took to start walking again. You have no idea. You don't know the pain that I've gone through. So don't look at me. Don't look at me and envy me because now I'm walking again, but ask and I'll give you the blueprint. As simple as that. Just have a healthy mindset, man, when we look at people and their success. Have a healthy mindset.
Yeah, Martine said, right on, Trent.
Yeah. My takeaway: it costs you nothing to be a cheerleader. You can cheer people. You can cheer people on, and it doesn't cost you a cent, right?
Dee dropping the
write a post. You don't have to buy the product, but you know what? Just give a shout out. Like, hey, my girl, my guy is doing this. Take a look at this. You know, if you buy it, pay full price. Don't go for the discount. These people, and you know what? Walk up the steps with them hand in hand. Right? You may know something. You may be able to help them along. They may be able to help you. Like, I have no problem with somebody walking along beside me. We can get there together.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a beautiful thing, man. Because you know that path is lonely. I've traveled that road a ton of times alone. Yeah. So it's always good to have a person that you can actually walk along with and bounce ideas off of. That's great. Real great. Like-minded folks.
Yeah, we all need accountability partners sometimes.
Yeah, very true. So Marcus said he's trying to get, good. He said he's trying to get more people in engineering because he's tired of being the only one in the room. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's probably the only non-clear person in the room, maybe. I'm assuming.
Right. Good stuff. What's your takeaway, Shannon?
My takeaway is always keep reaching back.
Mm-hmm.
Even as you're moving forward, keep reaching back to bring those who want to come along with you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And don't force those who don't.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach Dee, while we got all those folks overseas in here, tell the folks about that free thing on dlayler.com and over at Dee's Corner. What are you giving away for free?
So on my actually, I'm going to add some more stuff in the next couple of days. So on my Shopify site, you can get the cheat sheet to the growth mindset of how to get into the growth mindset for free there for everybody to download. I'm going to add some things about communication and relationships as well. And then because we got Easter coming up, a whole bunch of spring printables. Unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for those. But stuff for kids, for stuff like that. And you know what? I'm going to add in my link for my services with I do allow a sliding scale. So if you can't afford my fee, give me a shout, and then we can talk about
that's good stuff, man.
Right?
Because, that's really good stuff.
Well, here's the thing: I want to help people, and not everybody can afford to help all the time. I know I'm not cheap.
And I'm
well aware of it.
And thank you, Dee, because I think that's
not cheap.
That's huge, and I think a lot of that does keep a lot of people from getting the help that they need. The cost
if you want to have a chat, we can do a free chat. We can do a $10 chat, $20 chat, whatever. Right?
And you guys can catch Coach Dee on Coach Dee's Corner or go directly to a website, dlayler.com.
Yeah, my Shopify will be linked over there pretty soon. I just haven't got
exactly.
I took a nap
Coach Dee's Corner. On Coach Dee's Corner on the TK shop is the TKshop.bio. TK shop, the TKshop.bio. Coach Dee's Corner. When you click on it takes you directly to her. So good stuff, man. Coach Dee got some good stuff going on there.
I'm glad you took. It's okay to take the nap, Coach Dee.
Listen, I laid down. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a half-hour nap. I'm not feeling well. I woke up. It was 4:00. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go pick Xavier up from his play date at 5. I was like,
good stuff.
I almost slept through it.
So as always, you guys can catch us over there on Apple Podcasts, where again, I'm proud to announce on our platform, on the Taylor Kennedy platform, on Apple Podcasts, generational trauma still sits at number 1. Come on, look at some of the other ones, because the generational trauma thing is moving up there.
Yeah.
So it's been sitting at number 1 for a minute.
You know, I think one of the things that we could take away from this one that you kind of touched on, you know, as far as with Crabs in a Barrel, is the toxicity and letting go of toxic people, and maybe for helping people to how to let go of the toxic people or toxicness in your life, especially if they're people that share the same bloodline as you.
Exactly.
Maybe we should do that next week.
Yeah, that would be good.
Good. Hold on 1 second before we go. I'd be remiss. I see my baby here. Hey, Kennedy. That's my little bud. Hey, Kennedy.
Where is she? Where is she?
Love you.
Not on YouTube. Where is she at? Which platform?
She's on Instagram with the other folks.
Oh, okay.
I see you, Black Light and Trucking.
And happy
Keep trucking,
belated
brother.
birthday.
Good
We're trying
stuff.
to keep your dad in line here on this show.
Knock it off.
Oh,
I see you, Black Light and Trucking. All your logistical needs, Black Light and Trucking right behind me. So good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to see some more meals being cooked in the truck, though.
Thank you. I've been telling that boy this for a minute.
Yeah.
He just did one. I think he did one the other night. He took off from actually creating meals in the truck. So you hear that, Torrance? More cooking.
More cooking in the big truck.
There it is. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right.
You guys want to close out?
Yes, we've got to close out. Thank you all, and remember, please, if you're on Facebook, please go over there to and join us on the Conversation Continues, where we keep the conversation rolling after the show.
Good stuff.
Have a great week and have a great week. Feel better, Dee.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
All right, you guys be epic.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.